So describe a time that you felt really at risk while doing your job.
Um, well, one time I felt at risk. There's actually this one time I was working at Petco. It was for the All-Star games and it was overnight. And I'm going around on the breaker, so I give everybody their breaks. And I'm giving this lady the break who's watching one of the gates. And so then she's just making sure that people are coming in and out, or the people that are qualified to do that, have the right credentials. And so I'm covering her while she's on her break. And all of a sudden I hear her screaming like, "Hey, stop that guy, stop that guy." And then there's this guy walking out, just like walking out like regular, fine, as if nothing's happening, out of the gate. And I'm like, "Hold on, man, like what's going on?" And he's like, "What?" And I was like, "Dude, like everybody's screaming, like what's happening?" He's like, "Man, I don't know." And I was like, "What?" And I hear like, "Hey, stop, stop." And I look around the gate, and I see the other two guards, and they're stationed right there, like at the receiving end. And they're like, they're not sure like what's happening, like it's all happening to them too. So I'm like what's what? And he's like trying to walk away, and so I'm like, "Hey, stop, like hold on and find what's happening, and then we'll see if you can walk away." And so I put my arm out like this, and I go to the walkie, "This is Erik, what's going on, blah blah," and they don't respond. They're just like, "Hey, make sure you stop that guy." And I look around, and next thing I know, the guy that I was with, he booked it. He booked it. I was like, "Oh no, okay, crap!" Like, like what I do is like, "Hey, there's a male suspect, about 6'1", African American, running down towards the Audi lot, the Audi something, whatever it was called, the lot for the All-Star game." And minutes later, my supervisor comes over and gets me, say, "Hey, we're gonna go talk, see what's happening." And so as we're going on, he's filling me. He's filling. Excuse me. As we're walking, he's filling me in on what's happening, and I asked him, so I was like, "So what happened? Like, what was all the screaming?" It turns out there's three guys that had broken into, like, or they had somehow like gotten in, and they'd somehow gotten in, and they went around and they'd taken a couple of like memorabilia stuff, but most of this like I think a couple of like gloves and stuff, just like not too big of memorabilia, but just some memorabilia. I don't think it was like vintage. I think it was like more modern, like from that game. And then they broke into like the wine bar section, and they took off with like cases of wine. But there was this one guard who was guarding the exit that the two of them had gone out. The other two guys, not my guy, but the other two. And he was like actually talking to them, holding conversation, like while they had the stuff in their hands. And I guess he didn't realize that they weren't part of the crew, because everybody that was in the crew that day had, since they were just wrapping up, and it was after everything had concluded. They're dressed in just PJs or sweatpants, just packing stuff up. They just have like a badge, but sometimes you can't see it, so like you have to ask them, like, "Hey, can I see I see your badge, blah blah." But I don't know, I guess he didn't think to see it, or because they had that stuff and he didn't think much of it. And so that's what they had been talking about. They didn't even know my guy existed. And so so they had asked me for like what I saw and everything that happened. But at that time I was just remembered I was feeling really like worried. I was like, "What's happening? Like, I don't know what's happening. Is this something I should be worried about?" I mean, it's just security, and it's like after the event's already ended, but I mean, it's still Petco. It's still like a big event venue.
Yeah. And plus, there's probably like a lot of people that you have to like worry about like their lives, like protect like the players.
Not the players, because they already left, but it was just all the crew, all the technicians there, just finishing wrapping everything up, making sure everything's packed, setting the trucks. Because it was after the last day, which was the All-Star game. I was working overnight guarding the outside, the shipping, and the entrance and receiving for the area.
Oh. Nice. Were you ever able to meet any of like the celebrities or players that you were taking security of?
Yeah, I met some of them. A few, not like personally, I didn't shake their hands. But some I met. He works on the ESPN for the football. I can't remember his name right now. I'm drawing a blank, but he's the guy that goes, "He could go all the way." I met him when I was working at All-Star Games. He was in the tunnel, and he was talking to someone, and I was walking by, and he was like, "Oh, how's it going?" I was like, "Oh, it's good. How are you doing?" It's like, "Good." And so I'm like, "Cool," you know. That was really cool. The last game for the Chargers when they're here in San Diego, a couple of the players came up and shook all of the security guards' hands. It was like, "Thank you, you know, for everything." So that was cool. It was Dontrell Inman, I believe DJ Fluker, and there's one more. I believe he's a quarterback. Flowers, I think. Yeah, but he's not on the team anymore. But yeah, so some of the celebrities will get to meet. Some you just like walk by, you acknowledge them, they acknowledge you, but you're working kind of thing. Like this one performer, her name is Halsey. I don't know if you know her music. I didn't really, still don't. But I was working, covering another break for somebody in the backstage of where she was doing her performance, and she came back to do a quick exit and re-entry from another side of the stage, and she walked right past me and just kind of nod hello just while she's giving her thing. So yeah, that's cool. So some you see, some you meet, some you don't.
Yeah.
It's like
Whatever. Is there anybody that you've wanted to do security for, like on a personal, like you look up to them kind of idolizing way, or?
Yeah, I wanted to work the Metallica concert when they're at Petco, but I wasn't able to, unfortunately. I had to do some other stuff. I think I went to school that day, class. No. I was already pre-committed to something else, but that, I missed going to a 49er game up in San Francisco, so that would have been cool. I should have done that. A couple of bands have gone to a couple of venues that we don't work anymore, or as much, so I miss them. But nothing too where I was like, oh man, like I really wish I worked on. But sometimes I could have worked that. So, give and take.